Thank you, Chairman Hastings and Ranking Member DeFazio, for your leadership in bringing this hearing before the committee. The Department of the Interior's mission affects the lives of all Americans. In fact, nearly every American lives within an hour's drive of lands or waters managed by the Interior Department. In 2012, Interior's programs contributed an estimated $371 billion to the U.S. economy and supported 2.3 million jobs in activities including outdoor recreation and tourism, energy development, grazing, even timber harvesting. Simply put, Interior works every day to protect America's great outdoors and power the future of this country. Secretary Jewell, thank you for coming here today and spending time with us. I know it's never an easy task, especially testifying on the budget in these particularly challenging fiscal times. In addition to serving on this committee, I'm also a member of the Oversight and Government Reform Committee, and I have at this point had ample experience with Congress's efforts to investigate the administration both productively and in a manner that can border on harassment and waste precious time and resources. I have a particular concern for the volume of government resources that are devoted to responding to the numerous inquiries and subpoenas from the majority of this committee and the possibility that overzealous actions by the majority could inhibit effectiveness of the department. In fact, it's my understanding that the Department of Interior has spent over 19,000 hours responding to the demands of this committee alone. Could you please discuss the overall impact on Interior as a result of this diversion of resources and how this has affected Interior's ability to carry out its work and missions, especially its ability to permit and oversee energy production on federal lands?
Thank you very much for the question. I recognize and appreciate this committee's legitimate oversight responsibility. And as I've said to the chairman on numerous occasions, happy to sit down with him and other members of the committee as there are concerns as you carry out that legitimate responsibility. There have been 16 different document requests, oversight requests from this committee. They have, in some cases, gone to subpoenas. We have testified. I've asked my team to start keeping track, the amount of pages, the amount of hours. 45,000 pages of documents have been carefully reviewed and provided to this committee. We have $2 million of taxpayer money expended in responding to requests from the committee. And probably the best and most frustrating example recently has to do with the Migratory Bird Treaty Act and the fact that 70 of our little over 200 law enforcement personnel from the Fish and Wildlife Service have been dedicated specifically to this task of producing records and not dealing with some of the biggest challenges we have in terms of oversight of our wildlife refuges, international wildlife trafficking, such as elephant ivory and other things where we really need these folks back on that task. So I appreciate this committee's oversight, but there's been a tremendous impact on my department in attempting to respond.
Well, thank you for that, Secretary. I'd also like to emphasize to you how important it is that you promulgate a stringent rule for fracking on federal lands. I believe you need to set a high bar that truly protects our environment and requires full disclosure about what's going into the ground and potentially into our water supply. I hope that you will pledge to continue to work with Congress and listen to those on the ground, such as the people from where I live in northeastern Pennsylvania, that have to live every day with the worry about and the consequences of nearby fracking, and know the potential costs of a loosely regulated industry. And I'll ask you to comment on that, Secretary.
Well, I commit to continuing to work with this body as well as my colleagues at the BLM who are in the process of analyzing the over 1.3 million comments that we've had on the fracking regulations. As they listen to those comments and adapt the regulations, we want to strike the right balance of safe and responsible development and also economic development, and believe that we can come up with rules that are safe and responsible. But very happy to take your comments and those that have been raised today under consideration. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Time of the
I yield
gentleman
back.
has expired. The gentleman from Idaho, Mr. Labrador.